A few days ago, there was the result of the Hacked Off campaign and Prince Harry, and the focus was very much on Prince Harry. But if you look at the judgment of the judge, the summing up, the focus really should have been on Piers Morgan, which was, of course, why Piers Morgan came out of his house and made his statement that he didn't know anything. Because the judge's summing up mentions Piers Morgan specifically and says that he could have come forward to the court. He could have testified, but he didn't. Now, Piers Morgan says he wasn't asked. The judge says he could have come, he didn't. And the Mirror would know that if he had come, they didn't feel that he could be put on trial. He could be put on a stand. They didn't feel that he could give truthful evidence. This is now a judicial finding against Piers Morgan himself, and it's incredibly serious. And Prince Harry's call for the police to now look into this and get justice done is, of course, a specific, the finger of suspicion, the finger of blame is pointing particularly at Piers Morgan. He's not the only person mentioned by the judge, but he is among those mentioned. And he says, oh, only one of the articles out of the 15 was penned on his watch. Well, that is enough. That is enough to damn him. He, in the judgment, the judge says that he must have known, and he's the judge talks about the testimony given in the trial by Omid Scobie. Omid Scobie, who of course penned the ridiculous book about Meghan Markle. Now, Omid Scobie tells a story that he had seen and heard Piers Morgan talking specifically about phone hacking. The judge says, I find him to be a straightforward and reliable witness, and accept that what he said about Morgan is true. And he was talking about the Kylie Minogue and Gooding story. He says no evidence was called by the Mirror to contradict Scobie. Morgan must have known how the information had been obtained, and he made use of it. The judge's words. And this is a contradiction, of course, of what Piers has always said, what he said on the steps of his house, and what he said on oath at the Leveson inquiry. I remember Andy Coulson went to jail for that. He went to jail specifically for phone hacking. Piers Morgan is now at risk of jail, I think, for something like perjury. Now, other people, Jeffrey Archer, and former ministers have been put in jail for perjury. Perjury is the one that really gets you. And this is a perjury type of offence. It's also perverting the course of justice. It's getting in the way of a police investigation. It's getting in the way of a court investigation. It's a huge issue. And it's the general and generic findings in the judge's summing up, which is really damning for Piers Morgan. And he is explicit. The editors knew about phone hacking. They encouraged it. They hid it. They lied about it. And he's explicit, naming names. He names the head of the board. Is it the head of the board? Sly Bailey, Paul Vickers, the head of legal, I think, maybe, the company secretary. These people, he said, knew. The editors knew. Among them is Piers Morgan, explicitly named by the judge. They knew, and they didn't stop it. And they gave fake evidence to the Leveson inquiry. And therefore Prince Harry's award was an award of aggravated damages, because this could have been stopped, and the people involved knew about it and concealed it. So it's about it's not specifically about phone hacking. It's about hiding phone hacking. It's about what these people knew and what these people tried to hide to save the good name of the Mirror. The Mirror doesn't have any good name. It's rightfully been used as an alternative to loo paper, and it's exposed. But of course, it's not just the Mirror that was involved in this. The Express as well, other newspaper groups, they were involved in it. They were up to their neck in the ordure of phone hacking. And this judgment, even with its award, which doesn't seem that significant, this is the key. The key is that Piers Morgan and others were named by the judge for not doing anything to stop phone hacking, for making use of phone hacking. So Piers Morgan's claims that he didn't order phone hacking are wide of the mark. They're not dealing with the issue. Piers Morgan has to answer the much bigger charge that he knew about it and didn't stop it, that he knew about it and concealed it. That's the bigger charge. And that, of course, he exploited the information that he got from it. So Piers Morgan is in trouble. It's not the story of the phone hacking the other day was not so much about Prince Harry as about Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, I would say, is finished.